बात करेंगे हम सब।
Today, in the media conference with Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And as you all are aware that the COVID returns because the COVID has come back in the second phase and it has again given a very bad impression or impact on our country. Now, what impact has been made? So today's our topic is COVID returns, parenting challenges. But before I will go on my main topic, I would like to inform you today world is celebrating World Bicycle Day. In April 2018, the United Nations General Assembly declared June 3rd as International World Bicycle Day. The resolution for World Bicycle Day recognizes the uniqueness, longevity, and versatility of the bicycle, which has been in use for 2 centuries, and that it is a simple, affordable, reliable, clean, and environmentally fit, sustainable means of transport. World Bicycle Day is a global holiday meant to be enjoyed by all people regardless of any characteristics. The bicycle is a symbol of human progress and advancement. It promotes tolerance, mutual understanding, and respect, and facilitates social inclusion and a culture of peace. The bicycle further is a symbol of sustainable transport and conveys a positive message to foster sustainable consumption and production and has a positive impact on climate. World Bicycle Day is now being associated with promoting a healthy lifestyle for those with type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Media conference with Goel wishes you a happy Bicycle Day. Now coming on the main topic, that is COVID returns, parenting challenges. Parenting or child rearing promotes and supports the physical, emotional, social, and intellectual development of a child from infancy to adulthood. Parenting refers to the intricacies of raising a child and not exclusively for a biological relationship. The most common caretaker in parenting is the father or mother or both the child's biological parents. Parenting has always been tough, but home schooling, working from home, and all the financial uncertainty surrounding COVID-19 has made it even tougher. With many schools and workplaces closed due to the coronavirus pandemic, many of us have found ourselves dealing with a new and often very stressful family situation. As well as having to work from home and run the household, you are likely also trying to keep your kids on track with their virtual school work, all while enduring the restrictions of his social distancing and even being cut off from the support of friends and loved ones. With the whole family often occupying the same space day after day, the strain can seem unrelenting. If you or your spouse have been furloughed or lost your source of income, the financial pressure can add even more stress. Left unchecked, that can be a recipe for burnout. As a parent at this time, it's easy to feel that you have so many roles to fulfill that you can't possibly perform any of them well. But it is important to remind yourself that this is a unique situation, a global health emergency that none of us have had to face before. Don't beat yourself if if you are not functioning at your usual standard. This can apply to your quality of work, your upkeep of the home, or your ability to keep your kids focused on their school work. By going easy on yourself or maintaining a sense of balance, you can keep your stress level in check and make each day a little easier for your family and for yourself. A survey was done with Indian parents. The key learnings from that survey on parenting during COVID are as follows. 8 out of 10 parents have claimed that children are spending more time using electronic devices, majority for KG to 8th standard students. Almost 50% of Indian parents feel that school is the best place for studies, as children don't feel inspired studying at home. More than 70% of parents have claimed that interaction between child and teacher has increased during the pandemic. 80% of parents feel that they are spending more time with their children on educational activities. 53% of parents found that trying to keep life normal for their kids was the most challenging part of parenting during this time, followed by limiting time on digital devices, that is 48%, and keeping their child busy when the school work is done, that is 44%. Indian parents have rated themselves high as teachers. However, 64% of parents struggle the most with mathematics while teaching their child, especially in higher standards. Screen time for kids have also increased. 69% parents reported that their children are spending more time in front of screens, while 62% feel their kids are actively engaged in creative and extracurricular activities. The average spending on school supplies has shot up from rupees 8,000 to 20,000 or more, primarily due to investment in electronic items, while a significant dip of rupees 5,000 is seen in stationery, art and crafts, and learning toys. While there is increased interaction between children and teachers, 80% of parents are spending more time with their kids on educational activities than they did pre-COVID. 30% stated that they were spending 2 or more hours a day. 21% are spending 3 or more hours a day. 14% reported spending 4 or more hours a day. Surprisingly, parents reported that they are struggling with mathematics the most, 64%, followed by science, 48%, and English, Hindi, regional languages, 36%. Indian parents believe that studies are best done in school, as kids are mostly occupied with electronic device at home and it is difficult to keep them engaged. While parents have reported an increase in device dependency, 69%, they are finding creative offline alternative for children, 62%, and engaging their children in extracurricular activities, 58%. However, almost 50% parents feel that school is the best place for studies, as children don't feel enthusiastic studying from home. 19% feel children can interact with peers and develop better understanding of concepts at school. 17% feel teaching and learning experience is better at school, and 13% feel that children are studying less as exams are on hold and now cancelled. Children have become more dependent on them, says 24% of the parents. So these are the few challenges which parents are feeling as far as the children are concerned. So the parenting challenges are many, but I have listed few because we would like to listen from you. But before we will go on this, I would like to inform why the COVID returns. Yesterday, on 2nd June 2021, India registered 134,105 new cases of coronavirus, which has taken the country's cumulative tally past 2 crores 84 lakhs 40,000 cases. Yesterday, 2,899 lost their lives. Thus, total death due to corona raised to 3 lakhs 38,013. Again, I am repeating, these figures are official figures. I am not going to vouch with these figures because the media reports, not only Indian, but the international media reports that at least 5 to 10 times more casualties happened in India. But I am not vouching for any of the two reports. According to health officials, India has administered 21 crore 85 lakhs 46,667 vaccines doses across the country as of yesterday, 2nd June 2021. We all know that we have to complete the entire population before 31st of December. Otherwise, we will have more and more and more mutation. So this figure is very, very less, meager, because we are 140 crore population, out of which at least 100 crore requires that jab, and 2 doses means about 200 crores. So we have just touched about 10% of the population. So although now the matter is sub judice with Supreme Court, so now let's see how the government is going to reply and what type of measures government will take so that everyone can be saved. Now coming to the topic, that is COVID returns parenting challenges. Today we have a very experienced, or I will say those who have experience of the parenting from different age group, as well as our senior psychiatrist with us. So I would like to invite my first panelist guest, Dr. Rajiv Anand. Dr. Rajiv Anand is a senior psychiatrist and marriage counselor. Dr. Rajiv Anand passed his MBBS in 1976 and did MD in psychiatry in 1980 from King George's Medical College, Lucknow. He opted to serve his country when it was very common to settle abroad for a brighter future. He has been serving society with his base in Mumbai. He has clients all over India as well as in many other countries. He was honored with Lifetime Achievement Award by AMA. He has conducted more than 3,000 workshops for different groups and companies with audience size of 10 to 800. His television program on various channels have been widely appreciated for his forthright and practical approach. He is leading in the field of mental and emotional well-being for 41 years. He was president of IMA for 2 times. He was interviewed in several talk shows in domestic and internationally. Welcome, Dr. Rajiv Anand, on our show. Dr. Rajiv Anand, you know very well that today, because of the COVID-19 2020, and then again this COVID returns, the maximum challenge they're facing is by the parents. Definitely the students or the young generation, everybody is facing, but the parents are facing maximum challenges. And now the exams, which were earlier postponed, is cancelled day before yesterday by our honorable Prime Minister. Now, again, there is a new challenge for the parents. So many challenges are there. I have listed few of the challenges, but I know, being a senior psychiatrist, you might be receiving lots of your clients, I will say, or those who want the help at this pandemic time. They might be asking you about the challenges which they are facing as a parent. Now, we would like to know your views about the COVID returns parenting challenges. Dr. Rajiv Anand, please.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. And good morning, Kirit Raj. Good morning, Raghavi. Good morning, Asha. Thank you, Mr. Lal, for the nice, fine introduction. I'm delighted to have 3 great panelists today. And I'm adding the superlative great because what I could research, find out, Kirit Raj is one lady whom I have deep respect for. She has seen life from different angle, different perspective, and she has huge experience of life, different hues and color. So I thought she would be one of the best candidates to be panelist over here. Asha, I learned, is conducting Be Positive parenting courses in Ahmedabad and nearby areas. And Raghavi is, I found out through the media that she is a blogger from Bangalore. Her surname happened to be Anand, so I asked her, will you be comfortable since I luckily share your surname Anand? She said, no problem, because she is a very talented person. So I said, let us hear her views on this topic. And she's a mother of one child so far. Yeah, okay. So talking about the parenting issues, I'm an old timer, and I'm no qualms in admitting that I'm old, because I very strongly believe that we are departing dangerously from the old value system. Whatever little I have understood, I have learned, whatever little I have been there, wherever I am because of my mother. I mention my mother for more reason than what people would like to imagine, because she was a housewife, because she was full-time mother, because whatever she had physically, emotionally, intellectually, socially, whatever she had gained in her life that far, despite many of my brothers and sisters above me, means they were elder to me, out from the second from the bottom. Yes, she has plenty to give it to me. So mothers, I'm using the word mother more than the lady or a girl. Mothers have much more to give to a child. And if anyone having empathic personality, anyone having sensitivity, most women's dilemma or their neurosis or their conflict in mind, or they are being unpredictable, or they're being cranky at times, is connected to their not being able to fulfill the mother role as efficiently and satisfactorily as they would have loved to. Because they are born and they are geared up and they are made in a way to take care of the child. This is a great function which I very, very proudly and very understandably I say that God could not reach every nook and corner of the world or the globe anywhere. So he entrusted this task to a woman to create a human being. 9 months is proverbially called 9 months. Duty doesn't end at 9 months. It begins from there in a different way. And I keep on watching. Maybe I could not watch as keenly as I should have when my children were being taken care of by my wife. But now I watch my daughter or my daughter-in-law when they take care of their children. The mother is supposed to create another civilian, another responsible person, another well-behaved person, create, make him learn, make him grow. And that's a great responsibility. Most of us, and I say most of us, father-in-law, husbands, grandfathers, brothers, sisters, we take this role of mother for granted. We think as if biologically or mechanically one can get conceived, one can get pregnant, one can deliver a baby, so automatically the kids would grow. Mother has to just shout at her, "Doodh pi lo, khana kha lo, ye mat karo, wo mat karo." No, the role of a mother is far, far more than that. Are we, the other people in the family, the elders in the family, society in general, are we allowing them to fulfill this role in satisfactory way? Are we supporting them? Are we in any way helping them? Answer is very honest, no. We expect them to do this role in the best possible way, in the most fulfilling way, most expected way, with least support from the others in the family. That may be my statement. Many people may dispute with that, but I observe it with many of my clients. Now, when the mother was doing full-time role as a mother, if I can say ages ago, is still in old cities in North India and as well as in other part of the country, mothers are mothers. They don't have any other compromise with their ability. Today we give them education and then we say, "तुमने पढ़ाई किस लिए की है? या खाना बनाने के लिए की है?" करना है. There's a peer pressure. There's a pressure from peer pressure on the family. There's a peer pressure from the husband's friends. There's a peer pressure from my classmate, me and the girls' classmate who have gone ahead in securing job and earning. So in order to bring more electronic gadget in the house, in order to make from home to 2 and 2 to 3 and 3 to 4, adding one room, in order to buy a car, in order to make the car bigger, we have made a woman of the house make her work outside the home in a job, which is now becoming norm. But are we realizing it? Where would this energy go? After all, the quota of the energy is limited. If she has to get up in the morning and she has to prepare the breakfast and the lunch, and she has to leave for the office, travel to the office, which may be an hour, 1.5 hours away, whether she goes by bus, train, or car, and then she has to work in the office where so many problems, the office problem happen, which everyone knows about it. And then she has to return, and then she has to make the food. Then she should look up to everyone expecting certain needs. बच्चे अपनी जरूरतें हैं, husband की अपनी जरूरतें हैं, in-laws की अपनी जरूरतें हैं. So we have forced a woman to compromise on some vital role, and one of them happened to be motherhood. I'm saying first thing in general before I come to the point that mothering or parenting, maybe mothering is not that popular a phrase or that popular a word, Asha would correct me, but parenting is undergoing huge challenge for the last few decades. And we have been silently watching it. And we, the most educated people, we, the most advanced people ever born on this planet, we have been watching the wife, lady of the house, suffer silently. Externally, we say we support you. Externally, we say we give you money. you bring more money, you bring more income so that we can buy item number A or item number two. But silently, we are not supporting. That's one major issue. Everyone who is listening to this program in any part of the country or elsewhere should look into, are we supporting? Is that all a woman is supposed to do to take care of the child's growth, or men can do a lot? If we have made her do the office work, can we do something at home? Can we do part of the work at the home? That could be great relief to the woman. Can we take care of some of the responsibility of a child, whether feeding her, feeding a baby, or changing nappy, or teaching him or her, or doing many other mundane tasks which a mother has to do? If we could do, those who are young would find their wife better looking, good looking, happier looking. And wife would take better care of the husband than remaining cranky or unpredictable. Ragvi may agree with me. She is in that age of early 30s. She knows when she would be getting angry, when she is multitasking and she can't do all the tasks. And one task may suffer when the child is asking for the attention and she can't give. So mothering need to be reviewed, re-evaluated. Parenting need to be reviewed, re-evaluated by everyone concerned, everyone responsible person in the family. If I say I'm past that age of being a parent, if I say I'm reached a stage of grandparent, there are certain expectations from me. What can I do to make life easier for the woman in the house? Maybe my daughter-in-law, maybe my daughter. What can I do? I have to learn. I can't say I don't need to learn anymore. I have crossed that stage. No, I could still learn a lot, could make the life of the house easier. This is about the parenting part. If everyone could contribute even 5 to 10%, including husband, including grandparents, let's assume 25-30% task of every lady in the house could be reduced. She could take care of her hair, she could take care of her skin, she take care of emotional health, she take care of physical health, she could be having much more energy at her disposal to give it to the child, to give it to her husband. She should be able to be more happy than she had been. And one area which I can't fail emphasizing is this. Second part, COVID has usually been criticized or usually being cribbed about, or COVID return is much more. Quite understandable, justifiable, because none of us were prepared to face this, nor we would ever wish to let it come back. But I feel that there's a scope for being optimistic in that. In almost many programs on this platform as well as other platform, I have voiced my views. There's a message. There's a message from some higher powers to sit, review, reprioritize. To sit, review, learn. To sit, review, do course correction, and do reprioritize. Where were we going to? Where were we heading to? Could anyone have thought 2 years back that any situation of rights in the country would force everyone inside the home? When I see movies of 20 years back or some different kind of rights, people were confined to the home for 2, 3, 4 days. Everybody suffered. Everybody was miserable. Today, we are sitting in the home for the last so many months. Could there be without any reason? Could there be without any planning? When we watch a movie, we see that every scene is interconnected. Every scene has got some link with other scenes which might have happened in the past, which may happen in the future. And we all know that there is a director of the movie. We may not see his face. We all know there's a story writer, there's a script writer, there's an editor. We may not know his face, but we know without him, this movie wouldn't have been flowing the way it is, the way it is unfolding before us. We believe that 2.5 hour movie. But this bigger movie, the bigger canvas, the bigger cosmos, there's a director, there's a story writer, there's a script writer, there's an editor who has planted, who has lined up all these events for some message for us. And that's why each one of us need to review, reprioritize, reevaluate our life. So COVID-2 is the fresher course for most of us. I do not intend to undermine the discomfort or the stress which almost every one of us have to go through. Every one of us have not touched the car for weeks, or touched certain clothes, or certain clothes have been spoiled, or many times you haven't touched your wallet to spend money. Many times you haven't met personally to friends, so on and so forth. There have been plenty of problems. Many of us do also have undergone the financial crisis because the income has considerably reduced, unless those who have a massive reserves or those who have some other member of the family earning. All those genuine problems in the life are understandable, no dispute about it. Yet over and above that, there is much more to learn from this COVID returns. Much more for us to identify those areas which we have left neglected earlier. When we sit down, when we have plenty of time, when the time which we are wasting in commuting to office, gossip in office, many other tasks in the office, now we have plenty of time at home. We have plenty of that time to review and redirect that energy where we can. I have no qualms in saying most of the men in the house, Kirit and Asha and Ragvi may agree with me, we have become lazy bum because we have served the tea, we have served the breakfast, we have served the lunch, have appointed ourselves as the king, uncrowned king in our own small kingdom, because we have believed that we are born here as a special privilege, God's special child. This is how we all have been brought up. Ladka hua hai, Raja hai, ladka hua hai. And we have polarized and set on one corner that we are the privileged class and the other classes to serve us. Like certain section of society, certain country, where there are people who are ruler and people who are server. So every family has believed that I'm the ruler, I'm the final person, and everybody else is the server to me. Now this mentality needs to change, and COVID has corrected it. I'm very happy. I was hearing one fellow who is industrialist, who employs 500 employees, who has factories. He was saying, "I wash my dishes in the sink. I let my daughter-in-law say, you please leave it, leave it, leave it. I would wash it. I'm assessed washing it, I would wash it." He says, "I enjoy washing the dishes. I enjoy doing some task at home, which I've never done." And there's an industrialist fellow who has come on this platform also a few months back. He is 65. And he was happy doing about it. So COVID has made us learn life is not just sitting in office, enjoying money, enjoying counting money and seeing the figures in a passbook or in the bank account. Life is doing as many as possible activity. The COVID has made the men in the house, not M-A-N men, M-E-N men in the house, to connect to every lady in the house. If I have daughter-in-law, if I have daughter, I connect to them to discuss with them the rigmarole of parenting. What is new happening? They all have problem about the digital world. Both children are addicted to the mobile. They both fight ferociously between me and my granddaughter. Dadu TV time, Amu TV time. She takes away the mobile. Here, do not allow me to take away because she feels that this is mobile. The remote is her prerogative. Moment I step out of my room, she goes and occupy the place. Amu TV time. Her name is Amira. So she has become what is called territorial about this TV. The TV is mine, or give me a mobile. On mobile, she goes. We are seeing this new phenomenon, which is often we describe it with a bit of delight that kids activity. But we have to also appreciate this is dangerous that we are depriving them of human interaction, depriving them of peer group interaction, going to school where they could see another child playing a ball or playing cricket or playing football or interacting with other kids and they could learn from them. We are also depriving, leave aside the school not opening up and PM announcing no exam, everybody pass. Leaving that aside, even our interaction with the kids have reduced significantly. This is my concern, being in the field of psychology and psychiatry. I've done one full year of child psychiatry, Asha, way back in 79. I've run a department of child psychiatry in 79 for one full year because the professor had to go abroad. So I had to look after child psychiatry and I was so deeply interested at that time. Of course, with the time things changed. That time child psychiatry was not as popular or child psychology was not popular as it is today. The point is that everybody in the family have to look at parenting role and think of how I can supplement, how I can support it. If we will not do it in time, we will face children who would do many under the activity on our face to talk to us in a way which we will not like to appreciate. We would find it difficult to digest, and we would call them name. ये बच्चे कैसे हो गए? इज्जत नहीं करते बाप की या grandfather की. So it's high time that we should take note of the significance, the under significance of COVID returns. Help the woman in the house redefine parenting role. Help her feel more strengthened by our contribution, whatever sources. I'm delighted Mr. Lal has infused research. In beginning, he spoke for 7 minutes on this, and I was very happy that he does research on every subject. And you find out so many data, which we, being in this profession, do not get time to do that. That's up to you, Mr. Lal, that you do so much research on every time, and you really educate us and enlighten us. So ending my brief summation over here. Thank you, Mr. Lal. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Rajiv Anand. Thanks for the compliments you have given to me. This is my duty that I should do some research, and it's for my own benefit. I want to increase my knowledge by doing this research. But what Dr. Rajiv Anand has mentioned is that now the COVID returns has given us a new dimension for the parenting. We have to learn that parenting, we have to change our style of parenting. We have to help whether we are father, father-in-law, husband, or whosoever, we have to try to help the lady of the house, wife or the mother or the daughter or the daughter-in-law. Then only we can be able to sustain in this difficult time. So according to him, if we will not do it, then it will impact very badly on the child or the children. So if we want our children to grow up in a normal way, we must try to give more time, because this is a time when everyone is at home. And if we are just using this time as a royal, as a king, then it is wrong on our part. We must help the lady of the house. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Anand, for giving your views. Now I would like to invite our next panelist, and she is Miss Kirti Raj Manucha. Ms. Kirti is the head HR of a leading fintech company at New Delhi. She is having 24 years of experience in human resource, strategic planning, organizational development, talent management, business partnering, and leadership development. Her last assignment has been with Brinks India Private Limited in the capacity of Chief Human Resource Officer. She also worked on leadership level with FedEx and Adidas. She's MBA from Birla Institute of Management and Technology. Her best engagement is to spend time with her children, Uday and Pomila. Welcome, Ms. Kirti, on our show. Ms. Kirti, you have heard what Dr. Rajiv Anand has mentioned. Now, we would like to know your views on this COVID return parenting challenges. Ms. Kirti Raj Manucha, please.
Thank you, sir, for inviting me here. I'm very happy that you invited me, and there are audience also who are here. Thank you very much for joining us. So as a working mother, Dr. Rajiv Anand touched upon the points which a working mother is facing challenges or faces challenges. So yes, that's a fact that always a whirling thought in working mother's mind is, am I a good teacher? Am I a good mother? And am I doing my job properly? So as an employee also, am I performing good? As a mom, you want to give best education to your child, entertainment, extracurriculum activities, and you don't want to compromise on the bonding with your child. But you can't be a superwoman. You have to rise up in your career ladder. At the same time, you have to look after the child. You feel guilty in the process that, okay, am I doing justice with the child, giving it enough time or not? So I would suggest all the working women, do not feel guilty at all. If you've decided to move on in your job, remain empowered and progressive the way you are. Align the vision of your child with your vision, which means make him feel pride on your social status, your work responsibilities, your growth. And if your child feels pride on your success, there is no question of guilt. So the guilt part should not be there in today's evolving India and the today's time, where women are holding leadership position in India with the transformation which is taking place. The great thing is that with exposure, where the society was not involving or supporting women, I think with time and the developed education, people have started thinking of evolving. Little transformation is felt where, like we heard the example, Dr. Rajiv said the father-in-law was washing utensils or husband was washing utensils during COVID. So professionals, they have started realizing the worth and they have started evolving. And with this, it becomes little easier for parents to look after the child together. If there is a harmony in the family and there is a peace, the child's upbringing happens the best, because parents are the best counselor and the guide for the child. Nothing can replace the love of the parents. Love is the primary thing. That's what I feel. While motherhood may be the most wonderful blessing, but I would say, end of the day, your individuality should also be respected. Women are thriving, leading career, and empowering themselves in various aspects. No doubt, working women are expert in multitasking, but at times, as Dr. Rajiv Anand said, you get stressed. We get stressed, and it should not take toll on our health. Because if we are the backbone, the woman is the backbone of the family. If the woman gets stressed and suffers with blood pressure or sugar, I think she can't be taking care of the family well. So the mother has to stay healthy in every respect, whether it is COVID, whether it is whatever the situation is, office stress, target, meeting revenues, but you have to maintain your mental balance of remaining fit. When you come back home or when you are at home, if you see the house is messy, your little child has made the house dirty, I would say don't lose your temper, because I know you have the office stress. Don't lose out your temper. Play with your child. That is the biggest de-stressing medicine which you can have, by playing with your child. I think nothing can be better than that, when you're playing with the child, talking to your child, and all your stress goes away. It is a privilege. Child is a privilege for us and not a punishment. During COVID lockdown, with no outsourced support, all the working women and the other women, even who are not working, it has been very difficult for us to manage family. You're balancing out the work as well as looking after the child. But at this point of time, those who supported the woman, they felt that, okay, if the work, gone are the days when men were the bread earner. Now men and women together are running the family financially to uplift the standard of whatever the situation is. At this point of time, if they are equally contributing in managing the family in this evolving situation, it is a responsibility. If both husband and wife both work, share the responsibility equally for running the family as well as looking household chores and developing the child. Nothing can be better if both parents are spending time together with the child, doing the raising of the child together, because the child feels more secure, child feels more happy. And if he is happy, I think his personality will be developed. We have nuclear families nowadays, but those who are privileged are having grandparents. I think it is best to spend time with the grandparents, because grandparents are the one who will tell you good gesture, respect, responsibility, discipline. We'll talk about so many about spiritual things, intellectual thing, religion. Child will learn a culture a lot if the grandparents are there. There are some families in India nowadays where there are single mothers due to various reasons. If the grandparents are not there, there is a, the family is not having a joint support. In that case, even the extended family members can be added, where the support is generated and the child doesn't feel left alone. Because during this time or before also, the child needs time. He needs love and care, which nothing can replace. If you are giving time, love and care, I think your child will do wonders. Whatever I feel, the support system in every aspect is needed in this evolving situation. I would suggest some ways which we can, help ourselves in facing these challenges. Very important for everyone is organize and plan your work. If you've scheduled your work, you will have time to take out some time and spend with the child. If you're talking to your child and he's sharing, just listening itself is counseling. If the child is sharing all his pressure, all his stress, everything, just listen to it carefully. Nowadays, every school has got counselors mandatorily, because we don't have time to speak to a child. They're going to a counselor and talking to them. It is also happening because they're not spending time with their friends. They're not going to school, which is a sad scene. They're not going to play in the parks the way they used to go before. They're not going for movies, malling. So at this point of time, if you are hearing your child, itself is the biggest blessing in disguise, because you have time, use your time in listening to your child. spending time with him. This is an opportunity to build strong bonding with the child. We do yoga at home. Many of us may be doing yoga, fitness, games, outdoor, indoor. We are not going outdoors, so indoor games are there. If we spend that time, our fitness time also spending with a child, involving him, that will build a stronger relationship with the child. I involve my daughter, playing, doing fitness together. She was not interested in yoga, but she has developed interest. I used to play badminton with my son, although now during COVID, I'm not doing that, but we do other activities and that builds a bond. That's what I feel. And I think these are some of the things, if we can find out time and, storytelling, telling your success stories with the child, talking the career women who are having a good career. When you are having sitting with your elder child, you can talk about a lot of competencies he can develop to evolve in the industry. You can talk about your experiences in the office. What are the success factors? What are the difficulties you have faced? That way you will also indirectly develop your child towards his career. He can decide whether this is what my mom or father is doing. Is it the career I have to choose or something else? So these are, even if you are a working woman, do not feel that you don't have enough time. You can do this during lunchtime, during dinner time with your child. We're sharing a lot of things of your success. And that way, child is also sharing a lot of things because you are sharing your day with the child. So I would say one meal in a day is must, which you should have with the child. And that is the best way when you are, in a friendly manner, listening to the child. Even if child is telling you something bad, which you don't like, that is not the time for you to stop. You can do that counseling later on, but that time hear the child out. So I will always stress upon engagement with the child, listening to the child, and having some positive counseling with the child whenever you are free. But during dinner time or lunchtime when you are talking, listening is something very, very important, because that is de-stress to your child, and that will make your communication very open with the child. It is very important to explain the duties very clearly to the child at home when you are at home. Little things your 8-year-old child can also do, which is cleaning his own room, putting the toys in order, or maybe when you're doing something in the kitchen, helping you in making sandwich or decorating your salad. That way, that will bring some responsibility in the child. The sense of responsibility, we have to think that my child cannot do, but they can do. If you give them some, delegate them this work, engage with them in supervision, they will do wonders. So that way, the child will learn responsibility. It's a very important value, the responsibility, the respect for mother or father in helping in household is also a good value which you are developing, a gesture which you are developing in the child. So these are some of the things which I feel we can encourage in child in appreciating and not pointing fingers all the time that you did not do good or focusing only in studies. It should be a balance of studies plus, communication together. Nowadays, media or edtech, I will say the edtech industry is evolving, where the child likes to work online. So there are so many companies which have online videos, online tutorials. So when our child is engaged in those transformed online tutorials, why not we also sit with the child and understand what he or she is studying and develop ourselves along with the child, take interest in what child is doing, fix up some time, take out time in guiding the child when he is doing these edtech classes. It is very interesting. That will de-stress you. And also you don't have to talk so much because it is the computer, or I would say the online education, which is also explaining the things in a very detailed manner. So we are also transforming with the time in engaging in child in various other aspects. We do not, and another important aspect which comes in our life is we feel that we have to, apart from studies and education, we have to entertain our child, which is very good. We all should entertain our child, but entertaining a child to what extent means taking him out abroad for expensive trips or buying expensive gadgets or, buying expensive brands. I don't think that is entertaining the child. The entertaining the child will be if you are just loving your child, spending good time with him, playing with the child is the best thing. Parents feel that too much of love spoils the child. I do not think too much of love spoils the child. Rather, it makes up the child. It gives him security. It gives him responsibility. And he also loves you back because he is getting so much of love. He feels secure with that love. Spoiling happens when you are not giving time and love to the child, but compensating that with expensive gadgets. There the child may get spoiled. I don't think love ever spoils the child or anyone, gets spoiled when you get a lot of love. I have another example to set here, that we tell our children, we know all our children are very much into mobile. Even when I walk in, my daughter picks up my phone and she's, always trying to play on mobile. So I tell her, I control her, but what I feel the right way, and I'm advising what works for me, is I have set time for myself. I will watch or I will play anything for 1 hour, WhatsApp or Facebook or whatever, LinkedIn, whatever it is, 1 hour. Because if I'm setting a right example, my daughter will copy or my son will copy whatever I'm doing. But if I am telling that, okay, don't watch TV for 1 hour, more than 1 hour or 2 hours, and I myself playing video games and other thing more than 1 hour, child will copy me. So what I'm saying, first develop yourself when you are developing your child. Self-analysis, self-development is very, very important for developing the child. Also, in the process, when I'm talking about self-development and expensive gadget, I will also talk about value for money. All of us buy expensive gadgets to our child, whatever is latest in the market, and we are thinking that that's the best engagement when we are working and we don't have time. We buy a lot of gadgets, but that will restrict a child in valuing for money. I'm not saying don't buy them gadgets, buy them, but in a limited way. You don't have to have a peer pressure for that. If the peer pressure has to be there, then peer pressure should be for studies, not for gadgets. That's what you have to tell the child. And this is the time when if the child is too much engaged with online video games, he will not have time to talk to you or have personal connection. That will impact his mental health. So I'm saying that personal connection is very important. So therefore, I'm saying find time for the child while you are exercising with the child, when you are doing fitness with the child, having lunch with the child, talking to the child, listening him out. These are the good moments where you should, and cajoling the child when he gets up in the morning, 5 minutes just spending in hugging your child when he's getting up. Those are the beautiful moments which you can spend with the child. At night when he's sleeping, talk about some success stories, read some books if he's a small child. Those are the beautiful moments which you should spend with the child if you want the child to be de-stressed and happy child throughout. Very important aspect which I also feel is respecting child's opinion is important. At times we feel the child is very small, we should not take his or her opinion. So I will share you one thing. My son is a grown-up boy, he's above teenager. And when I was writing this script, I showed it to my son. And when I showed it to my son, he got engaged. He gave me some points to write. He gave me a point to write that cyberbullying is something which happens. So, this point my son gave me. When I read this for my daughter, she's 11 years old. She was very happy when I was reading, I was talking about it. She was feeling pride that my mother is going to talk. So I'm saying, engage your child, even if he's 11 years old, even if he's 18 years old. Respecting child's opinions brings a bigger bonding and they feel pride in you. So, and that brings maturity. For example, if I'm aligning a video, a party at home, or if I am, going for a holiday, or I am shifting my house, if I engage my child, or even this script I said, if I engage my child, even my 11-year couldn't understand many things, but still she was happy that I'm talking about parenting. She said, "You are a good mother." That was her compliment and that made my day. So I'm saying respecting child's opinion is very, very important. Another point I feel is independence. We have to make the child independent. I will give a small example of my neighborhood where the entire family was suffering from COVID. And when the entire family was suffering from COVID, their little child, one daughter, was not impacted. While the entire family was suffering from COVID, there was maid which was restricted because society, social security, new norms are there that others should not get impacted with COVID. At that point of time, the little child independently managed herself. And what I hear now is that the child is more independent and, is more conscious about fitness, is more conscious about his studies. So, if we give little independence to a child, for example, an 8-year-old child, a 9-year-old child can buy her own fruits, can buy her own books, story books, that will give maybe little supervision from parents is needed. But with that, the child gets more independent. And if the child is independent, you are a happy parent because the child can take good decisions on his or her own. I will just point out. Yeah, I think
please be brief because other panelists are waiting. So we will come to the next.
So thank you. Yes. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Kirti Raj Manocha, for giving your views. I must say one thing, that your fintech company might be very lucky to have such type of head HR, because all the female staffs especially might be enjoying listening to you, because you are giving so good tips to them. Definitely they all become very good parents. But 2 3 points which I would like to highlight. The time is short, but I would like to highlight. One, she says that about the working, now everyone is working, even the ladies are working, the women are working, so the time has changed and people have started engaging themselves. The spouse are working, the husband is also now trying to give help in the household works. She made a very important point about the grandparents. Dr. Rajiv Anand knows, because we know that what grandparents can do, and this is the right thing, because if the values, the parents of today's the young generation understand the value of the grandparents, then they should be, they can be sure that the upbringing of their children will be in the safe hand. And instead of saying that the grandparents pamper the child, the grandparents always give unconditional love. And that's what Ms. Kirti has highlighted, that grandparents give the values, the morals to a child, which otherwise they can't get from anywhere else. She says that the child should be engaged, and that is very, very important, that you must engage the child in many ways. But one more, the most important point which she has mentioned is love can't spoil a child. Yes, that's fact. If anybody feels that the love can spoil the child, spending the money is not the love. Taking her to anywhere else is, or him to anyone, any good place is not the love. Love means where you are listening what the child is saying, as per Ms. Kirti. Thank you very much, Ms. Kirti. There are so many things we want to hear, but the time is short and we have to hear from others. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and she is Miss Asha Vagesia Patel, because her name on the screen is Asha Patel. So Miss Asha Patel is Mrs. Earth, Mrs. Asha Patel is Mrs. India Earth 2018. She is a qualified parental counselor certified under career-oriented program COP from St. Xavier's and Yale University. She is committed to breaking the monotony around conventional parenting practices. Ms. Asha, as a parent herself and an authority over parenting issues, built a unique world where parents can understand the importance of achieving a balance between personal aspirations and the needs of their growing children. Apart from her work, the family is into real estate and information technology business. In IT, they have a product, My Class Campus, which is used by more than 5,000 educational institutions worldwide. She is trustee of NGO High on Life, which works for youth say no to drugs. Welcome, Ms. Asha Patel, on our show. Ms. Asha Patel, please unmute yourself. You have heard what Dr. Rajiv Anand has mentioned and what Ms. Kirti has mentioned. Now we would like to know from you the COVID returns parenting challenges. Ms. Asha Patel, please.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the wonderful introduction. And thank you, Dr. Rajiv Anand, for giving this opportunity to me. I'm glad to be part of this discussion. And when I talk about parenting, this is something my passion for the life. And yeah, that's why I started my own parenting education center, V Positive Parenting in Ahmedabad. And I myself a parent, and my parental journey taught me a lot about parenting. And according to the experience I have in my life, I thought that this is something every parent should understand, like we take this aspect, I mean, we take this parenting journey so much taken for granted. like मैं ऐसा बोल सकते हैं, हम इसको इतना इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं देते जितना हमें देना चाहिए एज अ पेरेंट व्हेन वी रेज आवर चिल्ड्रन. हम छोटी छोटी चीज़ों के लिए भी लोगों का ओपिनियन लेते हैं, सबको पूछते हैं, कितना सारा नॉलेज इकट्ठा करते हैं, बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू पेरेंटिंग we just don't think that we need some guidance, some knowledge where we can raise our children in a better way. We can give a better youth to our country, to the nation, to the world. The best human beings we can provide to the world. But वहाँ पे हम थोड़ा सा अपने आप को, I don't know why, but हम थोड़ा पीछे रह जाते हैं, just because we don't have that practice. We just don't, हमें कभी बताया ही नहीं गया कि ये कितना important है. I mean, I can say that in India हमें कभी inform ही नहीं किया गया कि why it is important and how impacted it is. So COVID-19 के जो इम्पैक्ट्स है, पहले जो थे, फिर सेकेंड वेव आया, उसके बाद के जो इम्पैक्ट्स है, सो उसमें मेन डिफरेंस विच आई कैन फील इज दिस टाइम जो इम्पैक्ट आया उसमें ज़्यादा डेथ्स हुई है. तो बच्चों को जो लॉस एंड ग्रीफ का जो इम्पैक्ट है बच्चों के ऊपर, वो हमें टेक केयर करना चाहिए कि हाउ दे आर टेकिंग दिस सिचुएशन, यू नो, फ्रॉम small baby to the teenagers who are close to their grandparents and to other family members or friends, or someone I mean, you know, lost someone in the family. तो उसके बाद बच्चों के ऊपर उसका क्या इम्पैक्ट है. So we should talk about that more to children. And then the second thing is, we talk about physical health and physical health most of the time, you know, in children, like we can just see that the height and growth and how the child is looking and all that aspects, and that is उसको बहुत ज़्यादा importance भी दे दिया है हमने कहीं ना कहीं. But when it comes to child's emotional health, the mental health, हम थोड़ा सा उसमें भी नहीं देखते कि बच्चा इमोशनली हेल्दी है कि नहीं. सो शायद कभी कितने पेरेंट्स को पता भी नहीं है कि ये टाइप की कोई हेल्थ भी होती है, कि इमोशनल हेल्थ का इम्पोर्टेंस भी होता है. सो टुडे COVID returns parenting challenges में I would like to talk about emotional health in children and how parents can recognize it. You know, आपका बच्चा emotionally healthy है कि नहीं, वो आपको कैसे पता चलेगा. जैसे कीर्ति मैम ने बताया कि कम्युनिकेशन, बच्चों के साथ बात करना कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है. बट हम जैसे हम पेरेंट्स से बात करते हैं तो वो ऐसे बोलते हैं कि मैं तो पूरा दिन बच्चों के साथ होती हूँ, राइट. सो स्पेंडिंग टाइम विद किड्स, तो उसमें क्या डिफरेंस है कि आप टाइम स्पेंड करते हो और आप क्वालिटी टाइम स्पेंड करते हो या आप बच्चे को सुनते हो. तो आप जब बच्चे के साथ बात करते हैं तो आपका कितना परसेंट माइंड बच्चे के साथ है, कितना माइंडफुल आप बच्चे को सुनते हो. क्योंकि आधी बातें हमारे दिमाग से बाहर होती है, जब बच्चा कुछ बोलता है हमें आधा ही पता होता है और उस आधे का हम रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं. सो दिस इज हाउ वी कम्युनिकेट विद आवर चिल्ड्रन, बिकॉज हम ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस हमारे हाउस होल्ड चोर्स और दूसरी एक्टिविटीज़ को देते हैं रादर देन एक ह्यूमन बीइंग जो लाइव है हमारे सामने बात कर रहा है. उससे ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट हमें हमारे काम लगते हैं जो नॉन लिविंग है, जिसका इतना इम्पोर्टेंस है नहीं. बट हमारा घर क्लीन होना या किचन का काम ठीक से होना, टाइम पे होना, ये सब ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट होता है. बट एक टाइम पे बच्चा आके कुछ शेयर करना चाहता है, तो एज अ पेरेंट, एज अ मदर और एज अ फादर, you have to keep your things aside and to listen them carefully. That is the most important gift we can give to our children. And then research has shown that emotional intelligence or EQ predicts over 54% of the variation in success, relationships, effectiveness, health, quality of life. तो इमोशनल हेल्थ जो है उसकी इम्पैक्ट्स क्या क्या हो सकती है बच्चे के ऊपर. सो एज अ पेरेंट आप अपने बच्चे में इमोशनल हेल्थ कैसे रिकग्नाइज कर सकते हो. सो जस्ट ट्राई टू रिकग्नाइज कि क्या मेरा बच्चा अपनी फीलिंग्स को अच्छे से डिस्क्राइब कर पाता है. आपको ये देखना है कि क्या आपका बच्चा सारी फीलिंग्स को अच्छे से डिस्क्राइब कर पाता है या वो अपनी फीलिंग्स को सप्रेस करता है या किसी और तरीके से एक्सप्रेस करता है. कैन माई चाइल्ड डिस्क्राइब अदर पीपल्स फीलिंग्स, क्या मेरा बच्चा दूसरों की फीलिंग्स भी समझ सकता है, वो डिस्क्राइब कर सकता है. जैसे अगर मैं छोटा सा एग्जांपल दूं कि बच्चे बाहर खेलने जाते हैं या उन्होंने कुछ कहीं कुछ स्ट्रीट पे कुछ देखा है, तो वो फीलिंग उनमें जो आती है, क्या वो बच्चे वो फीलिंग को एक्सप्रेस कर पाते हैं आपके साथ. व्हाट आर द सम इमोशंस दैट माय चाइल्ड पर्टिकुलरली स्ट्रगल विथ, कि ऐसे कौन से मेरे बच्चे के इमोशंस है जिसमें वो स्ट्रगल करते हैं. एंगर है या फ्रस्ट्रेशन है, सैडनेस है, कौन से ऐसे इमोशंस है बच्चे के जिसमें वो स्ट्रगल करते हैं. कैन यू रिकग्नाइज इट एज अ पेरेंट. व्हाट आई एम मॉडलिंग फॉर देम। जैसे कीर्ति मैम ने बताया कि बच्चा बोलने से ज्यादा, आप जितना बोलते रहते हो उससे ज्यादा आप जो करके दिखाते हो उससे ज्यादा सीखता है। तो व्हाट आई एम मॉडलिंग फॉर माय चाइल्ड, जैसे गैजेट्स, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक गैजेट्स की उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी बात की कि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक गैजेट्स आपको अगर अपने बच्चे को उसका यूज कम करना है तो फर्स्ट आपको अपने अपने आप में वो आदत डालनी है, आपको वो शो करना है कि ओके आई एम डूइंग इट फॉर 1 hour 2 hour and then I'm keeping my phone aside when I'm doing something important, you know. So that you have to model for your child, that you have to put into your practice कि डाइनिंग टेबल पे मोबाइल नहीं होना चाहिए या ये, मतलब there are certain rules and regulation which you need to follow and then your children will follow that. So you have to model that thing for your child. How does my child cope with setbacks and failures? हम बच्चों को हमेशा जीतना सिखाते हैं बट फेलियर्स जब आता है तब क्या करना है वो नहीं सिखाते। और शायद उसी वजह से काफ़ी सारे बच्चे जो सुसाइड अटेम्प्ट करते हैं और ये सब चीज़ें उसी वजह से होती है क्योंकि हमने कभी उन्हें फेल होने के बाद क्या वो बताया ही नहीं है, वो सिखाया ही नहीं, बात ही नहीं की है। So you just make your child understand कि it's okay to be fail, क्योंकि फेल होके ही आप आगे बढ़ना सीखते हो। तो जब आप ये इट्स ओके सिखाते हो तब आपका बच्चा 50% और 70% चीजें हैंडल कर लेता है, क्योंकि जब बच्चे को आ जाएगा कि इट्स ओके, जब ये इट्स ओके आ जाएगा तब वो काफी सारी, और ये इट्स ओके आपकी तरफ से आना ज्यादा जरूरी है, क्योंकि जब बच्चा कुछ गलती करके आता है या तो कुछ ऐसी चीज जो आप एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करते हो वो करके आता है और तब आप ये बोलते हो कि इट्स ओके, टेक केयर नेक्स्ट टाइम और विल वर्क इट आउट। जब आपकी तरफ से ये इट्स ओके आता है तब बच्चा अपने आप ये इट्स ओके को समझने लगता है। हाउ डज माई चाइल्ड रिस्पेक्ट टू अदर पर्सन्स इमोशंस, कि मेरा बच्चा चलो उसको खुद के इमोशंस पता है बट क्या वो दूसरों के इमोशंस को रिस्पेक्ट कर पाता है। तो आपको ये चीज़ें, अगर आपके बच्चों में इमोशनल हेल्थ कितना स्ट्रांग है, आप ये सारे क्वेश्चंस आपके दिमाग में अगर आते हैं तो आप ये ऑब्जर्व करना चालू कीजिए और उससे आपको समझ में आएगा कि आपका बच्चा कितना इमोशनली हेल्दी है। अब ये सब तो हमें समझ में आ गया कि चलो ये सब ऑब्जर्व करके हमें पता चलेगा कि बच्चा कितना इमोशनली हेल्दी है, बट उसके बाद आप क्या करोगे कि आपको समझ में आया कि चलो बच्चा थोड़ा उसके इमोशंस पे मुझे काम करने की ज़रूरत है, तो व्हाट शुड आई डू एज अ पेरेंट। सो यू कैन डू this steps which I'll tell you. First, बी अवेयर ऑफ इमोशंस, उनके जो भी इमोशंस है उसके बारे में आप अवेयर लीजिए, उसको समझिए, बच्चों के इमोशंस को समझने का ट्राई कीजिए कि वो अगर रो रहा है, गुस्सा कर रहा है या सैड फील कर रहा है, क्रैंकीनेस है, टेंट्रम्स है, तो आस्क अ क्वेश्चन। आप हम क्या करते हैं कि बॉयज थोड़ी ना रोते हैं, बॉयज नहीं रोते, तो डोंट सप्रेस देयर इमोशंस, जस्ट आस्क अ क्वेश्चन कि व्हाई, व्हाट यू आर फीलिंग, व्हाई यू आर क्राइंग। गुस्सा करते तो हम क्या करते, गुस्सा नहीं करना चाहिए, अच्छा लगता है कि तुम सबके सामने गुस्सा करते हो। नो, इट्स नॉट दैट, गुस्सा आ सकता है, वी आर ह्यूमन बीइंग और सबको गुस्सा आता है। सो जस्ट से दैट इट्स ओके, आपको गुस्सा आ रहा है, कैन आई अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई यू आर एंग्री एट दिस टाइम, आपको क्या ऐसा हो रहा है कि आपको गुस्सा आ रहा है। सो जस्ट वे ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन विथ योर चाइल्ड यू हैव टू चेंज, बिकॉज ये हमारी प्रैक्टिस में बिल्कुल नहीं है। हमारी प्रैक्टिस में यही है कि नहीं, गुस्सा नहीं आना चाहिए, देखो कैसे गंदा लगता है, आप सबके सामने गुस्सा करते हो। सो वी हैव टू चेंज दैट प्रैक्टिस विथ आवर चिल्ड्रन। Then the 5 things we can try with our children. First is communication. जैसे वो मूवी का डायलॉग है विद्या बालन का कि एंटरटेनमेंट। सो पेरेंटिंग के लिए मैं ये एक ही डायलॉग बोलती हूँ विच इज कम्युनिकेशन। बट कैसा कम्युनिकेशन, बच्चों के साथ कौन से टाइप का कम्युनिकेशन होना चाहिए। फर्स्ट इज इफेक्टिव लिसनिंग, कम्युनिकेशन का द मेन एस्पेक्ट इज इफेक्टिव लिसनिंग, कि आप अपने सारे काम छोड़ के जब बच्चा कुछ भी शेयर करना चाहता है तो प्लीज लीव योर all the work and listen to them for at least for 5 minutes, and it will work, you know. बच्चा दूसरी बार तीसरी बार आपके पास ही आएगा rather than going to someone else, to their family friends, जहाँ पे शायद उनको गलत इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल सकती है और बच्चा कुछ गलत रास्ते पे जा सकता है। तो टीनेज में जब बच्चे आते हैं तब पेरेंट्स का एक ही कंप्लेन होता है कि हमारे बच्चे हमसे बात ही नहीं करते, वो एक डिस्टेंस क्रिएट हो गया है। बट ये डिस्टेंस क्यों क्रिएट होता है? क्योंकि यू आर नॉट अवेलेबल व्हेन दे नीड यू, राइट? दैट्स व्हाई उनका एक सर्कल बन जाता है, फ्रेंड्स का सर्कल, जहाँ पे वो विदाउट जज बीइंग जज्ड कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं। तो पेरेंट्स के सामने क्यों नहीं बोल सकते? क्योंकि एज अ पेरेंट वी ऑलवेज जज देम। हम हमारा रिएक्शन पहले बता देते हैं, उनको सुनते बाद में है। तो बच्चों को यहाँ पे एक हेजिटेशन आ जाता है कि अभी ये आएगा, यू नो, मैं ये बोलूंगा और ये आएगा। देन दे स्टॉप टॉकिंग टू यू, दे स्टॉप कन्वर्सिंग विथ यू। तो यहाँ पे आपको एज अ पेरेंट, मैं ये नहीं बोल रही हूँ कि आप उनके फ्रेंड बन जाओ, फ्रेंड नहीं बनना है, हमें पेरेंट्स ही रहना है। बट आपको वो बाउंड्रीज, वो लिमिट सेट करनी है कि आपका बच्चा जब आपका टाइम चाहता है तब आपको वो उनको देना है। देन माइंडफुलनेस, कि प्रेजेंट, हम हमेशा बच्चे के फ्यूचर के बारे में सोच के उनके साथ बात करते हैं, बट प्रेजेंट के बारे में सोच के उनको सुनिए, रादर देन जस्ट मेकिंग योर सेंटेंस लाइक कि फेल हो गया तो क्या होगा, कोई नौकरी नहीं देगा, इन एजुकेशनल स्टफ एंड ऑल दैट सब, यू नो, जो हमारी फ्यूचरिस्टिक चिंता है उसी के बारे में सोच के हम बच्चे के साथ बात करते हैं। बट आप उनको एक बार साइड पे रख के बीइंग इन प्रेजेंट उनके साथ बात कीजिए, अभी क्या चल रहा है, वो क्या सोच रहे हैं, एज अ टीनेजर उनके दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है, कि वो इस पूरे पैंडेमिक को कैसे ले रहे हैं। कोई बच्चे जो एक्साइटमेंट में बोलते हैं कि हाँ अच्छा है ना, ये पूरा एक्सपीरियंस वी कैन शेयर विथ आर जनरेशन, यू नो, सो दे आर टेकिंग इट लाइटली ऑल्सो, समटाइम दे आर टेकिंग इन अ फियर ऑल्सो, कि उनके पास स्टोरीज है बताने के लिए कि हमारी जनरेशन को हम पैंडेमिक की स्टोरीज बताएंगे। सो kids are taking things so lightly, but as a parent what we are modeling them in the house, it impacted on them, you know। तो अगर बच्चे ये चीजों को लाइटली लेते तो आप भी इन चीजों को लाइटली लीजिए, रादर देन लिसनिंग न्यूज एंड अदर मीडियाज
Please be
एंड
brief.
या
Please be. Yeah. Time is.
Okay,
Yeah, please.
so there are five tips which I would like to give it to parents. One is communication. Second is mindfulness, being present. Then acceptance, accept your child the way they are. And if they are individuals, and accept them the way they are. Build trust by communicating with them, and take care of yourself, because that is very important. If you don't take care of yourself, तो आप ये कुछ भी नहीं कर पाओगे. So
Uh, Thank you very much, Ms. Asha Patel, for giving 5 tips. Paucity of time, I would not like to summarize, otherwise our next guest will be cursing me. So now I would like, thank you very much, Ms. Asha Patel. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and she's Ms. Ragvi Beri Anand. Ms. Ragvi Beri Anand is a chocolatier and blogger at Bengaluru. I'm sure all the children will be happy to know that she's a chocolatier. An inspirational written by choice, a contributor blogger at Bangalore, insider and a chocolatier by profession. She worked with a leading B2B magazine, Silicon India. She was handling their APAC leading sales for magazine space. She is a graduate from Pearl Academy of Fashions in retail management. She is having experience of 4+ years in marketing and social media advertising. She was born and brought up in Ghaziabad, Delhi, now married in Bengaluru. She is a mother of 2.5-year-old daughter. Welcome, Ms. Ragvi Beri Anand, for our show. Ms. Ragvi Beri Anand, you have heard what Dr. Rajiv Anand, Ms. Kirti, as well as Ms. Asha Patel has spoken before you. We would like to know from you the COVID returns, parenting challenges. Ms. Ragvi Beri Anand, please.
Hi everyone, this is Raghavi, and this was such a pleasant, platform for me to actually come and speak about what parents are actually facing during this time. And thank you for such a lovely introduction. I'm great to have such a nice panel. To keep it short, because I feel everyone has covered all dimensions of this parenting challenges and the solutions and everything. I would want to keep it very, very short. Uh, for me, parenting is something to, when you say what a parent is, it is not as how Mr. Anand said. It is not that you give a birth to a child, you nourish the child, you give the best education to the child, and so on. And as they say that once a parent is always a parent. So for me, it is a lot more than that, right? It is eradicating personality defects from your child and imbibing good habits to them, to make them understand the societal responsibilities, to make them understand our culture, to make them understand a lot, to be happy in small moments and follow your dreams and be positive in life. So all these things look like or sound like very artificial or very hollow at times, because it is when we come to it we feel that okay, these things we can't actually do in real. We can't actually inspire people to follow their dreams, because everything in this world is about money. Everything is about is earning or securing good position in your financial career, or your marriage life, or having good having kids and having maintaining good relation with people. But when you can come to think of the entire thing in a bigger picture, what really matters is imbibing those good small moments and good small habits in your children. That really goes a long way. So for me, parenting is all about that, right? Now, talking about during this pandemic, the entire work from home policy which has come in place, not only mothers, the fathers, everyone in the family are working from home. And the pressure, as Miss Kirti actually said, that there are any number of pressures from going chasing the sales targets and revenues and everything, and working from 9 to 5. It has become a total mess. And amidst the entire thing, you need to monitor your child. You need to there's a set of additional responsibility which has come for both the parents, right? So it's obvious that your child will be there. You'll have to take care of the child as well. You'll have to take care of the sales target as well. You'll have to make the presentation as well. You'll have to monitor what is going on in the house. You'll have to manage the household. You'll have to cook. You'll have to wake up early. You'll have to cater to the demands of the husband, and vice versa. I'm just not talking about as a mother, as a girl, but I'm sure it is very, very difficult for the husband as well, because for the guy also it is very, very difficult. It's a new world for the men of the family as well, because men have always been used to stepping out after some point of time, and say a 9 to 5 job, they step out and they go to work and they come back in the evening when the entire house is set. Then they get all three cooked meals properly, and they are not aware of the small chaos which happens during the daytime. So for the men also it is very difficult, and it has become very messy for them also. But I feel it is not just us who is feeling this entire confusion and having stressful nights and anxiety attacks, that oh my god, what has the world come up to? What are we going to do? This is, I feel it is also happening with the child as well. Just think of that. Children from the age 6 to 18 years old, it is easy for them to communicate and say that, hey mom, I'm not feeling very good today because I miss my friends, I miss being outdoor, I miss cycling. So is there any way we can do that? Or a 13-year-old is missing school activities, or just play dates with her friends, or just stepping out for a movie, as Miss Kriti said. So I feel, what about those toddlers or babies who are below 5 years old? My daughter is 2.5 year old, and I understand the plight which she is going through, because it is difficult for her to express what is she going through. I feel she feels fearful. A 2.5-year-old baby talking about, mom, we can't step out because there is corona, we need to wear mask because corona germs will go inside our mouth. So I cannot visit my grandparents because corona is outside, I cannot go cycling. So these are very basic things, and the amount of the amount of no's which have entered this entire era, saying from saying don't touch that, don't pick up that, don't put that in your mouth, don't do that, come here, wash your hands properly, don't eat that, the entire negativity because of this entire thing. Just imagine the youth of our nation, they haven't seen the world without mask. And what are they expecting out of this world? They haven't seen normal humanity, they haven't seen people without masks ever since they have understood how this world runs, how the people are, what are the kind of activities people are doing outside. I don't think so there is anything for them to miss on to also, because they haven't seen the world at all. They haven't seen how it was to go outside and play bat and ball in outdoor, or how was it to go out in the park and just run here and there and pick up and just be carefree, or have picnics scheduled with friends and go out for lunch dates and movie dates. They don't know about that. So I strongly feel that it's not only us who's trying to juggle between work and family and trying to figure out how to manage your work, and how to monitor your child also. It is completely, the child also is completely a very very vital part in this pandemic, because he still is feeling very confused. And when I say confused, the child is seeing mother and father both 24/7 sitting in front of the child, working from home. So where it was very easy for the child to reach up to any given parent for a specific reason, the child is very confused. He doesn't know which parent to reach out to for what, right? So it is very confusing for the child as well to see, oh, mama is also working in this room, papa is also working in this room, where should I go? And it is very very difficult for those couples who are not staying with their grandparents, at rightly say so, because grandparents add such an essence in your life and the child's life that, if we say pura bachpan unka agar grandparents ke sath nikal jaye, to nothing like that. So sometimes there are people who underplay this entire privilege, but I feel I'm very very blessed to stay with my in-laws, where half of the things have been taken care of, and luckily we are able to manage very nicely. For people, it is not working very well. If I say working from home, it is not working very well. But for people who are able to define or set a routine for a child or for themselves also, it's just a matter of how do you actually make routine a proper routine and follow those basic small rules which you set on your own, and which can be which can be actually spoken about also. Maybe a small say, for example, if you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, let's go for a short walk. And once we are done with the short walk, let's come up, let's have a nice bath, and then we'll have our breakfast. This is breakfast time. Now mama needs to go to work, mama is busy, papa is already on a call, so now you need to go and spend some time with your grandparent. Once you're done with it, you have to come back and tell that this is your nap time. And to be honest, this is from perspective of a mother whose child is a toddler. So this is a very thing. So I have experienced this,
Please
that
be
if
brief.
you, okay, sorry. So this kind of routine, if you follow a routine, it'll go a long way, and it'll be very very easy for you to manage and handle the challenges which parents are actually facing during this pandemic. With this, I want to also talk about financial insecurities. No, I think nobody spoke about it. Financial insecurity is very much there between husband and wife, and during this time, because we don't know whether we have our jobs today and we don't have them tomorrow. So with that financial insecurity, a thought of expanding your family is also there, and depriving the child from getting a company to play with is also very big factor, right? Talking about having a second child, talking about financial insecurity, because to have a second child, it is the whole matter of getting responsibilities to your place, and finances take a lot of important part in this, and there are other factors also. So with that, I think because of this pandemic, because of these challenges, one of the biggest challenge is facing the financial insecurity, which is also very, very important during this time. To I feel I think everyone has actually spoken about larger part of the things. So I think I'd like to conclude. For me, it has been a burnout, but for me also, I'm trying to make a silver lining, and I'm trying to take this as an opportunity for me to inspire my child, because it doesn't matter whether you are a CEO of a company, or you are leading a 50 members of team, right? It actually trickles down to that point where you are able to
Please
follow your dream.
conclude.
Yeah. So if you are able to follow your dream, and if your child is getting inspired and getting time to spend with their with their parent, it is very, very blissful and very, very lucky for him to do that. So yeah, I mean, this is what I would like to say.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Ragvi, for giving your views. There's paucity of time, so I have to say this, but I'm sure the viewers have understood what she has to mention. She has mentioned. Now, my question is to Dr. Rajivanand. Dr. Rajivanand, are you getting more parents during this COVID, or it was the same which you were seeing earlier? Time is short, so 1 minute answer only, please.
Yes, because of pandemic and because of other factors, more and more people are coming out with their own distress without realizing it that their kids are also in distress. Parents have their own set of problems, their own cravings, complaints against everyone. They don't realize everybody more or less in the same boat. So back to you.
Okay, thank you very much. My question goes to Ms. Kirti. Ms. Kirti, do you think this new generation is more caring and responsible? I'm giving the contradicting view of Dr. Rajivanand. In my opinion, this new generation is more caring and responsible for the children than the earlier generation. What are your views? Ms. Kirti, please unmute yourself. Please unmute.
Yes, I certainly feel that the new generation is very caring and responsible. If you talk about the parents, my question is talking about parents or the child?
Parents are more
Yes.
caring for the children. Yeah.
Yeah, so I will talk about one thing. Parents are more caring and responsible for the child in terms of evolving technologies, in terms of exposure, in terms of getting more, transformation happening in place. But if you see more and more parents, children are going to counselors nowadays. They're going to counselors because at times parents are not able to spend time to listen to the child. In our times, I don't think any of the school was having any counselor in the school. But today, this new concept of counseling is coming up just because we are not able to give time to our child.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. My question goes to Ms. Asha Patel. Do you think parents training required at the time of the birth of a child, like in Western countries, they train the parents how to change the nappies, even to the spouse, the husband, they train and everything, as well as when the child goes to the school, again the counseling to be done to the parents, so that the parents will be more responsible, especially the man will be more responsible. Miss Asha Patel.
Yes, I feel that it is necessary. And why? Because we need to change, transform ourselves from a person to parent. और ये ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के लिए ये गाइडेंस और एजुकेशन जरूरी है, क्योंकि जो हम है उसमें से हम एक पेरेंट बन रहे हैं, तो उसके लिए ये गाइडेंस जरूरी है.
Okay, thank you very much. Now my question goes to Ms. Ragvi. Ms. Ragvi, being a young parent, I am asking you, do you think the modern parenting is more challenging than the earlier one? Because Earlier time, mother is sitting at the home, only homework. Husband is going to the for the work. Here, both are working, and they have to take care of the child because it's a nuclear family. No grandparents are there. So, don't you think this parenting is more challenging than the earlier one?
I strongly feel so, because I feel children are much smarter than what you think. They have excess amount of exposure towards technology, TV, and the level of communication which this kind era of spouses have. Especially, even if you see our generation, also we also are highly technology savvy. We know what is happening in the world. So the intellect definitely plays a lot of plays a very big part in this. So I feel yes, for sure,
Okay,
yeah, it
okay.
is much more challenging.
Okay, thank you very much. So, viewers, you have seen today that the challenges are so much in for the parents, and especially during the COVID time. But the views which has been expressed by the experts are very, very clear. Please communicate with your child. Please give them the love. Love will not spoil them, and talk to them. And one more, the one more influence of this media conference is that the grandparents are also very important. Earlier, there used to be a Sas and Bhau saga, but now even the Bhau realizes that Sas is also very important, or the grandparents are important when the parenting comes. So if you want that the child should be developed properly, one has to give a proper parenting, which I'm sure today's media conference has enriched the knowledge and given many lights in this aspect. Thank you very much. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon se, Samvad Saroka News, as well as shown live on YouTube and Facebook. And our endeavor is to bring to you every day new topic. But as for last more than 20 days, we have started an evening program in Hindi that is called Kal Aaj aur Kal Lal Goel Ke Sang, in which we call one personality the achiever, and then we take the his or her life, what from the childhood till now, and the message to the young generation. And today my chief guest is Miss Nirmal Kaur, IPS, former Director General of Police Jharkhand. She will be giving, she will be telling and about her own personal life. Thank you very much for joining, and please do tune in for today's program of Kal Aaj aur Kal Lal Goel Ke Sang at 4:30 p.m. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Anand. Thank you very much, Ms. Kirti. Thank you very much, Ms. Asha Patel. Thank you very much, Ms. Ragvi Beri Anand. And thank you all the viewers for watching our show.